Japan is continuously changing, and some iconic things, such as the unique train station jingles, are at risk of disappearing. Today, let's take a look at the changes happening in Japan that you should know about before your next trip. Let's go to Japan.
The next station is Tokyo.
Hey guys, Hoang here, and today we are going to look at some of the big changes in Japan in 2026 and upcoming in 2027 that can affect your trip. There are some major changes coming to Japan in the upcoming year, and it includes changes to the iconic train station jingles. So let's talk about it. Before we take a look at the train station jingles, let's dive into some of the recent changes in the first half of 2026. So in my last Japan update video, we talked about how the Hello Kitty Shinkansen was being decommissioned, which made its final run on May 17th, 2026. Shockingly, just 9 days after its final run was completed, it was completely scrapped. I thought they maybe would have kept or sold off the front part of the train to a museum or something, but I guess not. Additionally, the Pokemon Cafe in Tokyo reopened on June 17, 2026 after a 3-month-long renovation. And in addition to looking different now, the Pikachu show now also takes place on a dedicated stage in the middle of the cafe. And there are 3 different outfits that Pikachu can wear, so you may experience a different one if you go multiple times. The cafe is now fully reservation only, whereas before there was a walk-in waiting area in case someone didn't show up for their reservation. So now you either get a reservation or you don't. The process has changed a little bit, where before you would try your luck at getting tickets 31 days before the day you wanted to go, so you're competing with everyone else who wants to go that day. Now they release the entire month all at once, so popular dates will be booked out very quickly. The slots are still released at 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time on the first day of the month before. So if you are looking for tickets for November, then reservations will open up on October 1st at 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Guests can cancel reservations up till 10 p.m. Japan Standard Time the night before the day of the reservation. So it can be possible to get reservations, as some get canceled leading up to the date that you want to go. All in all, it's still going to be a tough, very competitive process, though for less popular dates, you may have more of a chance now as people rush to get the more popular dates and times. The Pokemon Center in the Sunshine City Mall in Ikebukuro has reopened on August 24th after an incident in March left it closed for 5 months. The center has reopened with time tickets needed for the remainder of August. There are also signs up banning photography and filming inside and around the Pokemon Center to protect the privacy of staff and customers there. Japan's departure tax has increased from 1,000 yen to 3,000 yen as of July 1st, 2026 for anyone leaving Japan. This does not apply to children under 2 or people who have a layover in Japan and do not exit the airport and leave Japan within 24 hours. This fee is automatically included in the price of your airfare or ship ticket. Now, there are a lot of upcoming changes as well, so let's take a look at those. Starting off with the biggest upcoming change for tourists is Japan's tax-free shopping will have a major change starting November 1st, 2026. If you've been to Japan before, you may be used to shopping at tax-free stores, including the ever-popular Don Quixote or Donkey. You can skip paying the tax at checkout by showing your passport at the register. However, this won't be the case anymore. Now, everyone will pay the same fee, including the tax at checkout, which will streamline the checkout experience at stores. And then, when you leave Japan at the airport, you will go to a kiosk that will refund you the tax that you paid on the items that you purchased. Additionally, consumables used to be put inside of sealed tax-free bags. However, they will all be put inside regular shopping bags now and don't need to be sealed. But you will still not be allowed to open or use the items while in Japan in order to claim the tax-free refund. So now it's kind of on you to keep track of those items. We will get the exact guide on this process as we get closer to the November 1st deadline, and I will release an update with everything that you need to know after that. Next year in April of 2027, Tokyo will be implementing a new lodging tax, which if you've been to Kyoto this year, you will know that the lodging tax that started in 2018 got a major hike in March of 2026 and added an additional tax that will be charged based on the rate of your room, meaning that the more expensive the room, the higher the fee, up to 10,000 yen or roughly $62 per night at the making of this video. Tokyo is going to implement something similar starting April 1st, 2027, regardless of your booking date, meaning if you already have your hotel booked for a trip next year, you will still pay this tax, which will be collected when you check in. And April 1st, 2027 is April Fool's Day, but this is no joke. The tax rate is a flat 3% charge applied to the room rate per person per night. There is an exception for stays that cost less than 13,000 yen per night or around $82. So if you are a budget traveler who only stays in capsule hotels, then you're safe from the tax. Additionally, in April of 2027, Japan's tax on food purchased from supermarkets and convenience stores will drop from 8% to 1%, which is a welcome change for everyone, as tourists often shop at convenience stores, and I know I make my fair share of stops at 7-Eleven pretty much at least once a day. So a 7% decrease in tax means more egg sandos for me. Something to know is upcoming in September of 2026, from September 19th to September 23rd. This will be a combined weekend with 3 public holidays to make this a 5-day break called Silver Week. And there will be a lot of locals traveling around during this time. So you can expect crowded Shinkansen trains and hotels being more expensive or even sold out. If you are planning on traveling to Japan during this time, make sure you pre-book as much as you can to avoid any stressful times later. Lastly, upcoming changes that don't have a date yet. Japan is tightening the permanent residency restrictions to make it even more restrictive. So if moving to Japan is something that you are looking to do, this might get a bit harder soon. Policy changes are being drafted, so you can expect to see the details soon. Additionally, Samsung has partnered with JR East to bring the Suica to Samsung Wallet, so Samsung users will be able to add a digital card instead of having to buy a physical one. However, there's one catch. This only applies to devices released in 2027 and onward. So any current Samsung users are out of luck unless you are buying a new smartphone next year. Apparently, there is an additional piece of technology that is needed that isn't inside of current Samsung phones, so that will get added to later phones starting in 2027. Lastly, we're going to talk about one that is slowly happening and may speed up soon, and that is the phase out of the distinctive melodies at the train stations in Japan. This one is a tough one for anyone who has been to Japan and has fallen in love with the train station melodies. JR East has announced changes to the train system which may do away with these unique jingles entirely. Basically, I thought that these train jingles were automated when the trains came into the station, but it turns out that the train conductor actually gets off of the train and presses a physical button on the station to play the jingle. JR East is hoping to do away with the conductor role in hoping of making the train a one-person operation, and in order to modernize equipment and deal with staffing shortages. This means that the driver will not get off of the train in order to press the button to play the jingle. Now, does this mean the end of jingles entirely? Well, for now, they aren't entirely gone. Solutions seem mixed, as it is not a straightforward process to update the broadcasting systems and station signals, since a lot of these systems are fairly old. So a completely automated system would be expensive and require a lot of overhaul of these stations. Something that some of the trains have started to do is to play the melody from the train itself instead of the platform, which the driver now pushes a button on the train to play this. However, this is a standardized melody instead of the unique per station ones. The trains could also be modernized to play different station jingles as the train approaches, as opposed to the standard station jingle. However, this would also require a lot of work and could be less reliable, in which reliability is a key element in the success of the Japanese rail network. All of this to say, if you are in Japan and you are at a train station, take a video of the jingle that you hear, because according to the JR East representative, they may not be around forever. Japan has a lot of upcoming changes, but plenty more are on the way, so stay tuned for more. What changes are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments section down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.